So my name is Wandee. I come from Thailand, and I actually stopped working since 2006 because of I think women need some time to keep up our beauties, and etc. But I come back to work again in 2009 because of the government has announced the policy to buy back the solar energy with a very good rate. I think around 25 US cents during that time. And so we are the pioneer to develop the first commercial solar farm in the country. And I actually met with the Minister of the Energy at the time who's implement the project. And he's wonder why the announcement has been placed for like 10 months. And the announcement period is only 1 year, so 2 months left. And no one submit any application because of the no one believe that the solar farm can be considered like commercial project in the country. So then I met him a few times, so I decided to put myself, study about how to develop the solar farm in a big scale. So I submit application to PA, which is Provincial Energy Authority of Thailand, who has to purchase energy from us. So when I walk to PA, so they're so happy. So I actually want to submit one, and they end up gave me 36 projects. So each project like 7 megawatts. So there's a total 260 megawatts and 36 projects together. So if we cannot make the first one success, so then there's no second one, right? So then I start walking to money banks, 10 banks in the country, because we need to understand how much project financing ratio we can get from the banks. And 10 banks all say no to the projects because they don't believe that the project can be developed as the commercial scale. So until the last bank, their color is green. So I said to them, if they don't lend me the money, so they have to go change the color. So they don't want to change the color, so they agree to at least sit down, talking, things like that. And actually, that's the Gasikon. As I have explained, the retired lady, I put all my money in the property business because when you think of retirement, so landlord is the best option. We don't have to do much of the work. So then I asked my friend to help investment, total like 300 million baht, right? So the total project like 700 million baht, like 21 million US dollars. So I request all my friends help putting the money. So I have like 1/5 of the project. So from 300 million baht, is turned out from my friend 200,000 baht. So then it's so difficult, so I have to end up selling my house, my land to invest in the first project. So and is one condition that bank has to get my personal guarantee. So this is my most difficult time before I signing the borrowing money from the banks. But I think if I can make it happen, then I can change the pitch of the energy producing from natural gas, from conventional to renewable. So then, so many people, they don't care about people that fail. So then if I have to, losing the first equity that I put in, so no one's care. But if I can make it happen, so at least the government of Thailand and the world will turn to look at how it's happened, and they will try to expand more and more. So the first project was implemented, or COD, they call commercial operation date, on 21st of April 2010. I cannot remember my first date with my husband anymore, but I can remember the first date of the COD because of the project is so important to me. as the putting everything in my life into this project. So then, 21st April 2010, so bank request to wait for 6 months before we continue to develop the second project, right? So then to look at the sun every day, how many kilowatt hour we can produce, how many peak sun, when I ask our friends here, how many peak sun you get, so then this is every day, 6 months, 180 days, I will look at the sky and see, oh, if it's sunny, if it's hot, I'm so happy. So this is something that, thank you, Mr. So we are better than bank forecast, 30%. So that's why the second project can be further developed on the second year, 2011. And the most difficult part is the banks ask us to get the good partners. And I asked them, what is the good partner? So I said, like World Bank, like CTF Fund, or this, I stopped working for 2 years. So I don't know where is World Bank and where is CTF Fund. So I start Google. And then I fly to Hong Kong, to Philippines, presenting our projects. And so then I finally got the Philippines team to come, and many of the people from Washington to come. And we got World Bank as the partner in 2011 to help with the equity, both in equity and project financing with the CTF. And with the CTF fund, Clean Investment Fund, blended with the private banks, project financing is help, not just, we are not talking, we're not concerned much about the cost of the fund at that time, but the most important thing is confidence from the third party to verify the projects, that the project can be developed as the commercial. So this is the most important part. And we just finished number 36 in June last year. So, and with 7 banks in Thailand. Now I don't have to walk to the banks anymore. So the bank walks to me every day. So and they will look after my health, my, their concerns about everything, because we owe them so much money. And so then now we start negotiating for a lower cost of the interest and a better fund, so then we are able to expand the business in the future. Most important things that in the past 5 years, we help create jobs for local people, at least 20,000 jobs, and for during our construction time, and more than 1,000 permanent jobs for the next 30 years. And we help the world reduce CO2 emission, at least 200,000, more than 200,000 tons CO2 every year. And this is in 2010 when I started, there were only 2 megawatts solar grid connected. And now, this year, 2015, we will have almost 4,000 megawatts. And government put in the power development plan, because Thailand has the power development plan, what they call PDP, for 20 years. They expect to see another 6,000. So this is what we have to do for the world, and to make a better world for our next generation. And I think for my age and maybe little age, we don't need so much money to spend, but we need to see a better world. And my happy is that I can make it happen, and I can do a better world, and in terms of clean energy, with the great support from CTF. This is what has been happening in the past 5 years. So this is introduction, right?
Wow.